Welcome to the Cowboys vs. Ninjas podcast. Get ready for futuristic thrills and good old-fashioned action. I'm Adrian, and I'll be your host for this wild ride.
I'm Julia, here to break down the tech and strategy that make this world so fascinating.
Today's story really gets you thinking about second chances and what happens when tradition clashes with unstoppable progress. We're going to be talking about Ghostblade and taking you along for the ride.
We're following Taro, a retired corporate samurai. He thought he'd left behind the shadows and steel for a peaceful life.
So picture this. Taro has traded in the sleek chrome towers of the corporate world for a simple life by the sea. Yeah, he's gone from high-stakes board meetings to mending fishing nets. Kind of makes you wonder, what kind of world blends cutthroat corporations with the ancient code of the samurai?
It's a really cool mix. Think cyberpunk meets feudal Japan, where honor and duty meet ruthless corporate ambition. In this world, corporate samurai aren't just warriors, they're elite security experts, the best of the best. They protect corporate secrets and those high-value assets. They have a strict code of conduct, but their loyalty ultimately lies with their corporation.
And Taro, he was at the top of his game, known as the Ghostblade, for his ability to slip through like any security system. So why would someone walk away from all that?
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Maybe he got disillusioned with the corporate world or just wanted a simpler life.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he felt the weight of his past or wanted to figure out who he was outside of that whole corporate machine.
I can see that. But whatever peace he finds, it doesn't last long. He gets a message from his old handler at Mitsumoto Corp. And this isn't like a routine security issue. This is a threat to the entire corporate world.
Exactly. There's a new player in the game, the Black Sails, and they're not your typical pirates. These guys are organized using stolen ninja tech to disrupt trade routes and kidnap executives. It's a power shift, a challenge to the corporations in control. They're turning the world upside down.
And who does Mitsumoto Corp turn to? The Ghostblade himself. The way the story describes Taro tracing his katana hilt, it's simple, but you feel the weight of his decision. He's reluctant, but that warrior spirit is still there.
Absolutely. And here's what's really interesting. He doesn't just follow orders. He demands information, maps, data, anything to help him understand the threat. He needs a reason to care, to pull him back in. It's more than loyalty.
So what does he learn?
He finds out this isn't random. It's organized and strategic, and it's aimed at dismantling the corporate world. It's almost like these Black Sails are fighting for a cause.
Wow. So it's not just about profit for them.
Exactly, and that makes them even more dangerous. They want to change the whole system.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how Taro reacts. Instead of, going in guns blazing, he turns his fishing boat, his sanctuary, into his weapon.
I love that. He's using what he's learned in his new life to fight back. It's like mastering the sea, navigating those hidden currents, is mastering his samurai skills all over again.
Yeah, you got it. He's not the same corporate samurai. He's adapted, he's evolved, he's using his environment to his advantage, just like he used to manipulate corporate structures. It shows how his mind works.
Okay, so picture this. It's a covert night raid on a pirate sloop, chaos everywhere, stolen tech scattered around, and then bam! Our hero comes face to face with the ninja commander, eyes like a predator. Classic showdown, but with a futuristic twist.
It's intense, and here you see how Taro has changed. She's like a ghost, silent, efficient, deadly but reluctant. You get the feeling he doesn't want to kill, but will if he has to.
It's like he's holding back, trying for another way. But can you reason with someone who sees themselves as an unstoppable force?
Right. The fight scene is amazing. It's not just brutal force. It's like a dance, a display of skill and precision. Taro uses his opponent's momentum against them, disarming, pinning them down. It's about control.
And the ninja commander's words are chilling. We are the Tide Samurai. You cannot stop us. It's like they're a wave of change, washing away the old world. So, is Taro fighting a losing battle?
Well, he does something interesting. He leaves a clue, a Mitsumoto data disk, among the stolen tech. He's playing a deeple game, letting them think they're winning.
Oh, so he's thinking ahead. Okay, that's where we'll leave part 1 of our Ghostblade saga. We've got Taro, the weary samurai, back in a conflict much larger than himself.
He's caught between two worlds, fighting for order against chaos. But can he really stop what seems inevitable?
Welcome back to the Cowboys vs. Ninjas podcast. We're still in the world of Ghostblade.
We left off with Taro, our samurai-turned-fisherman, sending a message to his enemies. He left that data disk behind. What do you make of that? Risky play, right?
It is risky, but remember, Taro was Mitsumoto's top security expert. He knows how corporations think.
Yeah.
He's not just fighting pirates, it's a corporate war. And in that world, Information is key. So he's playing the long game, using his knowledge against them. But how does a fishing boat fit into all of this? Not exactly stealthy.
Think about it. What's more inconspicuous than a lone fisherman? No one suspects that guy out there casting a line.
Sure.
It gives him access to coastal areas, places those big corporate ships can't go, and he moves around undetected. They underestimate him, and that's his advantage.
It's brilliant. Hiding in plain sight.
Right. While he's out there, he's not just fishing. He's listening to chatter, observing patterns, piecing together the black sails network.
So the sea is his intelligence network.
Exactly. And he's using that intel to disrupt their supplies, sabotage operations, little things to weaken their infrastructure.
All while looking like a simple fisherman. Takes discipline.
It does. It speaks to his training. He's playing the long game, waiting for the right moment.
So what's the end game? Is he trying to take them down completely, or is there more to it?
Well, those kidnapped executives, they're not just random targets. They're the core of the corporate world's power.
So he's going after the brains, not the muscle. Disrupt the leaders, and it all falls apart.
Could be. Or maybe there's something more. Remember, the black sails are just a symptom. What if he's looking for something deeper, a hidden player?
Ooh, a conspiracy.
I like it.
So he's fighting on multiple fronts, gathering intel, disrupting, maybe trying to rescue those execs. He's like a one-man army.
He is.
But he's not totally alone. Remember those hints about ghosts of the old world? There are others like him, disillusioned samurai, former agents, maybe even some people within the corporations, people who see the system as broken.
Like a shadow war, brewing, alliances shifting, loyalties blurred.
Exactly. It's not just cowboys and ninjas anymore. It's about who controls the future.
And Taro, with his skills and, perspective, he's right in the middle of it all.
He's the wild card, the one no one can predict.
He's the bridge between the old and the new, the warrior code and the corporate world. It makes you wonder, what kind of world are we heading toward? It's a world where the lines are blurring. Technology empowers everyone. Ancient traditions clash with progress.
And it's not just about firepower. It's about adapting, outthinking, using the shadows.
And holding on to humanity in all the chaos. That's what makes his story so interesting. It's not just action, it's about choices.
It is. That's a good point to think about as we go into the final part of our Ghostblade journey.
Hold on to those thoughts because we'll be right back with the final chapter of Ghostblade right here on the Cowboys vs. Ninjas podcast.
Welcome back to the Cowboys vs. Ninjas podcast. Things are about to get intense as we wrap up Ghostblade.
Yeah, we've seen Taro, our samurai-turned-fisherman, shaking things up from the inside, playing a dangerous game.
Gathering intel, disrupting those operations, but we still don't know his ultimate goal. Is he trying to take down the Black Sails completely, or is there something bigger going on?
Well, the story doesn't lay it all out for us, but there are clues. Remember what that ninja commander said when Taro fought him? We are the tide.
Right. It's like they're more than just pirates.
Exactly. They think they're this unstoppable force ready to wipe out the old corporate world.
So is Taro fighting a losing battle. Can one man, even a skilled samurai, stand against that?
It makes you wonder.
He represents the old ways, honor, skill, in a world that's moving on.
Right. It's like he's trying to hold back the future.
But Taro's adaptable. He's taken his training and applied it to this new world. He's not stuck in the past.
That's true. He's blending tradition with innovation, using that fishing boat for espionage, turning the sea into his intel network.
It's like he's fighting a modern war with ancient tactics.
Exactly. And that's what makes him so unpredictable, so dangerous. His enemies, they underestimate him. They see him as a relic, but they're wrong.
Taro gets it. The game's changed, but strategy, warfare, the fundamentals are the same. Know your enemy, their weaknesses, and strike at the right time.
And maybe knowing when not to strike is important too. Taro hasn't killed anyone in this story. He disarms, disables, leaves clues, but no unnecessary bloodshed.
That's a good point. Shows he has a code, even in this world.
It does. He's fighting for something more, not just corporate interests or survival. He wants a world where honor, skill, those things still matter.
That's something we can all relate to. Facing a world that's constantly changing. Tech changing everything. The old rules don't apply anymore.
Right. So what can we learn from Taro? This samurai facing impossible odds, maybe it's the importance of adapting, holding on to your values, but embracing what's new.
Choosing your battles, fighting smart, strategic, with a bit of that samurai spirit.
It's a powerful message.
It is. Ghostblade leaves us with a lot of questions. But that's what makes it so
It
interesting.
makes you think about the world we're making, the choices we make, the things we value.
And it reminds us that even in a world of shadows and steel, one person can make a difference. That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of cowboys versus ninjas. Make sure to rate and follow for more thrilling tales of samurai and gunslingers. Until next time, stay sharp.